Alright guys, hello, my name is Jackie.
Hi, I'm Mikey.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Jess.
And
this is
Adulting.
Part 2. Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
Alright, Jackie, what's on the agenda for today?
So today the topic is about prayer. I know we've all had experience with prayers, struggles with prayers, and what does prayer even mean to us? So what does prayer mean to you guys? Let's start there.
Ooh. Prayer for me is just communing time with God, having my heart and mind open to whatever He's about to tell me to do.
Period. Alright, for me, I would say that prayer is kind of a way of communication, but I think it's also just a way for me to get away from the distractions of like the world and just like separate myself from worldly things. So on one hand it's communication, and on the other hand it's just like a way for me to escape from like, you know, everything that's going on around me.
Personally, prayer for me is it's like a check-in with God, so I can like tell Him how I've been throughout the weeks, months, years. And also for me it's like a way of like gift giving, I could say, because like I feel like praying for other people is like the best thing you could do.
Come on, snaps.
All right, you guys. So, what are a couple struggles that y'all have when entering that, you know, prayer time that you may be having?
I think there's a time in my life where the prayers weren't really coming like the video, like coming from the heart. I was just praying because I knew I had to pray, and that was a way for me to talk to God, but my feelings weren't there when communicating to God. It was like, yes, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that, I love this, but like I was just not connected with my feelings talking to Him truly. I don't know if anybody has struggled with that before. No?
I definitely I'm actually struggling with that right now, actually.
You're all alone.
Nah, but I'm actually struggling with that right now though, like just like trying to put myself in that place, going like into the prayer, like really putting yourself in a place of humility and like having that prayer room or wherever, just locking in and like trying to hear Him is kind of hard right now for me. But
Yeah, no, I can agree. I think like praying is so hard when you try to like schedule it, because you want to make sure that everything is off your checklist, so you can like lock in with the prayer. And then like while you're praying, you got like a million thoughts running in your head, and it's like you can like, it's hard to sit down and like do a prayer when like you haven't completely blocked off everything that's going on in your head. So yeah, no, I definitely can like resonate with that.
Yeah, and then definitely for me, it's more of I try not to make it kind of like what y'all said, but like a mundane task. Like, you know, people, when you grow up, people tell you that you need to, you know, pray over your food before you eat and stuff like that. So in my head, when I was little, prayer was just you had to do it or else type deal.
Yeah.
So I think now, since my relationship has grown, it's more of a actual conversation. So sorry.
Oh my
I
God.
need you to turn off the timer on this. It's stressing me out.
With that topic, I think something that helped me, Micah, I was hearing this podcast one morning because I was struggling with like the prayer, and it's like sometimes we focus on the future and not the present, and we're so caught up on praying with the future that we forget to pray about the present. And sometimes because the present is happening, your feelings are more there than the future. So that's how it helped me a lot, like figuring out how to pray. It's more like the present because the future is going to happen when it happens, and not worry about it sometimes. So that's just something. And I feel like this is what we were talking about, like praying with your heart and your feelings with it, because sometimes it's like, it's kind of what we were talking about previously about like your prayers being more in tune with your feelings, because I feel like that's when God really listens to you, because He knows like you mean it and you feel it, rather than you just praying just to pray.
Now, I don't remember anywhere in the Bible where Jesus prayed in no dang closet, but we know that Jesus always spoke in parables. And we also know that there was always a deeper spiritual meaning behind His words naturally. So I looked up the Greek word for this closet word, that Jesus used. It was so interesting. It might say room in other translations for you, but they both mean the same in Greek. And the word was tamion. And this word tamion that Jesus used, closet, it translated to inner room, inner storage chamber, and treasure room. Now it seems even more confusing because Jesus nor the disciples prayed in any type of inner room, inner storage chamber room, like what? Until you realize that this closet, this inner room, this chamber room that Jesus was talking about is actually the heart.
Yes. So in our reference Tiki Talk, the guy, Billy, is that his name?
Yeah, shout out Billy.
Shout out Billy. So Billy was talking about how when God was talking about prayer, he was talking about getting into your chamber or getting into your closet. And so he went through a whole bunch of definitions, but the moral of the story is that he kind of referenced the chamber to your heart chambers and how praying is supposed to be from the heart. And that's why you kind of have to have like the right heart posture, I guess. You might want to give a definition of heart posture.
Definition of heart posture. Simply, it can be like what is your mindset based on? That's kind of a basic way I can simplify it. Like when you're worshiping, are you worshiping with a mindset of I'm singing lyrics off of a teleprompt, or when you worship, are you singing those lyrics to God, like actually worshiping what those lyrics are saying? So yeah, heart posture.
Heart posture.
Yeah.
So anyways, basically having your heart posture correct before you enter into prayer will be the only way that you actually receive or get anything out of that time with God. Also, he mentioned, so the way the heart works, you have blood pumping through one chamber and then blood pumping out of another chamber. So basically when you enter in to your chamber, you're supposed to close that valve. You're supposed to close that door. So when you enter into your space to pray, you need to shut off anything else that came before you so that it's just you and God. Like there should be no other distractions, no phone, no TV, no music playing in the background. I know a lot of people do pray with music, but for me personally, it's so distracting. Like I can't even focus on what I'm saying if I have extra noise around me, and I have to put my phone in a whole nother room. So, have the right heart posture,
I think another reason, like something that just popped in my head, it's like kind of closing the door. When he said that to me, it was like closing the past too, like not reflecting back on like what you've done, what you could have done. Instead, it's like you close that chapter, you're in there just solo one-on-one and like focusing on the present and what you're doing now and just being there with him.
So what does y'all's prayer room look like, and then how can somebody like build their prayer room from scratch type deal?
Okay. So like, all right, so I don't have the exact like chapter and verses, but there have been plenty of times in the Bible where Jesus is with his 12, he's with his folks, and he just dips off either on a mountain or somewhere in the field or something, but like it highlights solitude so many times, especially when it talks about when he's going to pray. And when you are building this prayer closet, you have to make sure that you are one by yourself and you're too closed off from all distractions, because like what the TikTok was saying, like it's not just communication with God, but it's like it's an intimate space. And I'm looking at the thing and not the camera.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I just realized that. All right, well, I'm looking at you now.
We're locked in now.
I'm here now. Look at me in my eyes. When I'm telling you, you have to make sure that you have
Look at me in the eyes. Okay.
have a place of solitude and close off from all distractions. So make sure there's no outside noise. There's no, like Jess said, no TV, no phone notifications. Because honestly, if you hear the ding from your phone, Like, it can just be a ding, but you're like, who texted me? Is it my friends?
Yeah.
Is it work? Is it, an alarm? Is it school? So, and that's just off one ding. So make sure that you close yourself off from all distractions and noises and things of that nature. And what we were just talking about, heart posture. Change your mindset from it just being like a prayer routine thing. Like, a big part of my testimony is like, I grew up in the church, and church was such a routine thing, and it became real for me when the routine turned into a relationship. So when you like are in that prayer, like intimate space, don't just make it routine, make it a relational, like intimate one-on-one conversation that you're having with God. And then, your whole perspective will change on prayer. But close out the distractions.
That routine thing that you said, that's real.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you were born in the church, like, to you it's like a routine thing. It doesn't, you don't understand the difference between a relationship and the routine until I feel like you grow up.
Yeah, for sure.
Piggybacking off of what Jacob and Jackie just said about like the routine thing, I could definitely relate, and I feel like that's why the emphasis on heart posture is so important, because I like to look at it as like a regular relationship. You go to talk to your spouse, he or she is going to tell if you're not in the mood to talk to them. So it's going to be like, it's the same with God. Like, he knows your heart. And in that there was a Proverbs verse. Let me see if I can find it. It said, Proverbs 27:19. It says, "As water reflects the face, so the heart reflects the true man." So it's just like, that's clear and cut right there. It's like, you go to God and your heart's not straight, he's going to tell it's not straight. So I can definitely relate to that.
Wait, I have a question for you guys.
What's up?
I know we said something about distractions and stuff like that. What do you guys think about like praying in your car while you're going somewhere? Would you consider that as a prayer room? Or like a prayer? No?
I think it's wherever you feel safe. Like, some people are in their car, they wait about like 20 minutes before they get out of their car. Like, that's just their peace time. So I feel like being at peace in that moment, then yes, that is a good place to have your prayer closet. Like, maybe not all the time. Like, sometimes I feel like it does need to be stationary, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Some people don't have closets to pray in, so yeah.
Personally, I don't know how to decipher when like he's talking and I'm not listening, because sometimes it could be a little vague. Sometimes I feel like I pray and I feel like he's listening, but at the same, I don't know if like I'm listening. Like, sometimes it's hard for me to hear what he's responding back to, because like I used to think it was gonna be a literal response, like I was gonna hear this man in my head, but I realized that like he talks to you through other people and through other things. And I've been like really working on being more attentive to those things, because I feel like I've been missing answers a lot. So how do y'all like deal with that?
Shout out to Zach. His mom,
Miss Bonzer.
I keep looking at that. All right, I'm looking at the camera. His mom said that you won't know what God sounds like if you don't know how he talks. And if you don't know, and you won't know how he talks if you don't read your word. So, yeah, that's so real, because it's easy to pray every day. Like we just talking about routine. It's easier to pray every day. It's harder to listen after the prayer, and it's even harder to like decipher what you're trying to listen for. So reading the Bible is so crucial in any prayer journey, because it's literally his words from his people, his vessels from his people. So, yeah.
I know for me, it's more of a, like, I can feel it mentally. So when I'm in good connection with God, and I may not hear him vocally, but I see it in his actions. But when there's a disconnect, like, my whole attitude kind of shifts. Like, I get mopey, sad, and then as soon as I get back in my word and then start praying again, then it's kind of like an instant flip. So for me, it's more of a physical reaction to being disconnected from God.
I can second with Jazz, because I can definitely relate to that. Like, when I'm not connected to God, I feel numb. Like, I have no feelings. and I'm not like, I'm saying this, I never thought of killing myself, first of all, but I really thought about like, what's the point of life? Like when I'm disconnected to God, like I don't see a purpose. Like I feel lost, and that's when like getting back in your word, getting back in your prayer, you get that peace that he gives you, like everything's gonna be okay, and that there's a reason why you're still here, and blase. So to me, it's really that, those feelings, that effect, and just like kind of also what Jacob said, like once you're on your word, you can start peeping him here and there, but it is hard to figure out, is this God or is this the devil or is it just me? Right? Because sometimes like even the answers you want, you're like, nah, that he's giving it to me. But what if it's not? And it's just you telling you the answers you want to hear, and it's like, no. But I feel like at the end of the day, he's gonna like redirect you, like regardless. Or what do you guys think? Like, do you guys think like if you taken this path because you want it, but God is like, that's actually not the path I wanted you?
I was just about to ask something about that. I was gonna say, how do y'all deal with like the back half of the versus the disconnect, when you're connected and you hear what he's saying? How do you deal with what Jackie just said? What if it's like something that you didn't want or expected, and he's like, he's telling you? Because I'm literally going through something similar like that right now. So it's like, how do y'all deal with that? Being content with that.
Well, so I'm also going through something like that. We did this fast in January, like every good Christian does. And so the first 3 weeks we were fasting, I wasn't hearing anything. I wasn't really in it. The last week, shout out Sophia, she was like, why don't you write everything down and then, try to figure out like what you are actually praying for? Because I'm fine with fasting food like that. It is what it is, I'll eat tomorrow. I'll be okay. But literally, once I wrote down everything, that whole week, everything just started happening so fast, and I could not catch up. So I went through, there was some drama at my previous employment. Then it ended up getting shut down. I have not been unemployed since I started working at 15. So that was a big shock for me. And then I went on vacation, come back, my engine explodes in my car. And I was like, cool, God, if you if you didn't want me to be at the job, you really didn't have to smack me in the face with it. But it's cool. Like, obviously I wasn't listening, but I'll listen now. So, to deal with that, I'm still dealing with it. So, it day by day, honestly, because I'm just praying. That's it.
I think for me, it's like, it's all about perspective. It's like, I have a mentor at my job, and luckily she's a Christian, so it's like she gives me really great advice. And she was like, a lot of times we see it as a negative thing. Like, for example, she told me, you drive from your job to your home almost an hour every day. And for a lot of people, it's like, ugh, you drive an hour. Okay, but you're driving off from a full-time job. You're driving in a car. You're driving to a home, and you're driving to food in a home.
Yeah.
That's itself is a blessing and a positive thing. And a lot of things is about your perspective on how you see things. And like, for example, like your engine popped. Yes, it's bad, but it's fixable.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. Because I did get another job, guys. It's exactly what I'm making now, but I get to learn a lot more, and it's in the field that I graduated from. But it's in Atlanta. Never have I ever worked in Atlanta before, and I hate driving.
She's gonna be a
but the Lord knew. He was like, let me go ahead and fix this old busted up car that I got. So I got a brand new engine coming on the way. Yeah. So I basically have a new car to drive to Atlanta every single day. So
look at God.
What a blessing.
And it busted and not in the highway while you were in.
Because y'all, that was scary. I was in the middle of the street. But the police officer was super nice, so it's okay. It's fine.
Shout out to that police officer.
Shout out to the Pope. police officer.
But was that? Did we drift away from your?
Nah, y'all.
Oh,
Okay, word.
Because I was like, wait.
Alright. Can somebody look up the Shepherd's Prayer? That's what I was trying to find. Oh, maybe that's the wrong prayer.
The Shepherd's Prayer?
Looking up shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
Is it not the Shepherd's Prayer?
See, it's been Jacob all along. He's making fun of us this whole time. Yes. When I say words wrong, when she says something wrong.
No. I just never heard anyone call it that before. That's my first time ever hearing someone
Isn't
say
that
this.
in Psalms? Isn't it in Psalms? It's called the Shepherd's Prayer.
Wow.
What is it called?
That's my first time ever hearing it that way. You learn something here.
But it makes sense why it would be called.
You found it.
Yeah, I found
There
it.
you go. Psalm 23.
What's it called though?
The Lord is my shepherd.
That's how the verse starts.
Oh.
It's called
Y'all,
It's called.
I'm from a black church. It's called
Lord's.
the black church call it the Shepherd's Prayer.
No facts.
So that part.
Yes. Read
Okay,
it.
so it says. This is Psalm 23. This is the King James version, by the way. So it says.
This and thou, baby. This and thou.
Alright, I'm finna spit.
Go ahead. Talk to him.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness in his name's sake. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Amen.
The way they be all this if and let it. It be.
And
But you missed the good part when you said it's yay.
Yay.
Yay, though I walk.
Yay.
Let them know.
Another thing, I feel like another great advice is like people who are struggling how to pray or what to say, they can literally look up Bible verses that are prayers.
Yeah, facts.
And you can literally say that out loud and it'll grow.
Big on that, because ever since I found that James verse, somewhere in the New Testament, Paul was spitting. He said, season my words with salt so I may know how to answer everybody. I pray that every morning. Because like these people in this world, I need my words to be seasoned with salt. Straight from him. Straight from the source.
That is good.
What is that?
You know what I'm saying? Little salt there.
Alright, thank you guys so much for joining us again.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See y'all soon.
Make sure y'all
Like,
Yeah.
subscribe,
Yeah.
hit that notification bell,
And
follow,
Comment.
And
Subscribe.
and
give us topics.
Post.
And
Give us
topics.
yeah.
too much. Y'all have too much to do.
Thank
Yeah.
y'all for tuning in. Catch y'all in the next one.
Bye. Jesus loves you. Amen.